Hi, classmates. I'm going Ted slash Tyler talk here because in the prompt it said someday we might go to conferences. So here's me practicing that mixed with this elevator pitch concept. So, my name's Tyler, and I believe that people change when they have the right people and the right places, both accessible to them. I do not believe that right is one thing, and I believe that the right answer for one person is not the right answer for everybody. Um, and our job is to find out what that is. So, naturally, credentials wise, I have a master's in criminology currently that I got from Tiffin University. I'm just about done with my clinical mental health counseling degree at Bush now, and at that point, I will be a QMHPC and an LPCA. I started in the field in 2018. I was an overnight worker at a youth psychiatric facility. I moved to day shift when I realized I enjoy sleeping. And then I spent 6 years there, and I went from night shift to day shift to supervisor, trainer, manager, and director all the way up the ranks. And honestly, I feel like I only was able to get there because I was analyzing the clients, figuring out the ins and outs of the system, and what really does make people change. So it was the impact I was having that allowed me to advance up, but that was only because I was observational. Um, and now I work as a group counselor and intensive outpatient, and sometimes my clients show up very apathetic, and next thing you know, in a few weeks, they're telling me it's their favorite week, the favorite day of their week when they come to group. So I really do believe treating people like humans, figuring out what works for them is how to make the most change. Um, Textbook example, I think this is very important. I had a client, these details are changed for privacy, but I had a client who first time came to my office, started choking his mom out in the assessment and screaming for Fortnite dollars. I was able to stay calm the whole time and talked with my supervisor. She was able to do a quick crisis intervention, and then me and the mom decided home visits would be best moving forward. So I would show up to his house. He would definitely cuss me out, ridicule me, threaten me, ask why I was even there. But I would stay the full hour every time and kind of gently, quietly reflect what I was watching him do, so that he knew that my focus was still on him. And I would see him out of the corner of his eye. He was always making sure I was still there. And over time, what I would do is comment on his game and he would teach me stuff about his game. So it was like a form of self-mastery. I also remember he would always fist bump me on the way out, even when it was the early stages. It was always some sort of connection that I was able to build with him. Um, I did tell him that I play video games just to kind of lean into that self-disclosure briefly and build some rapport. And I think that's why he started teaching me, and me being reciprocal and receptive to that really showed him that I'm a person that might be trustable. I'm not going to say he trusted me, but I might be trustable in his eyes. Um, it's really different for a kid to teach an adult something, especially something they're good at. And that advanced to him asking me to go outside and learn how to work on bicycles and skateboards and all sorts of things. To the point that when I ended up leaving that agency, he asked me if he would ever see me again. And he ended up crying in the middle of the session. And never would I have expected that raw emotion from that human. Now, I tell that story because I would never show up to an intake with a Fortnite game or a skateboard. But for him, it was the right thing. I was able to read the right needs, I guess, to build that connection. And so I'm very foundational on person-centered work. I do believe confronting people's choices is important, which is why I lean into choice theory and reality therapy. And I really hope that after I finish this school program, I can continue teaching people, or at least guiding people, to be more reflective about how they're acting and if it really is getting them where they want to be. And if not, just gently guiding them back to the pathway to health and healing. So go counselors.